All right, so I'm going to take you through a very basic wall ball routine, but first we're going to go backwards and make sure your fundamentals are perfect, starting with how you hold the stick. So I think a lot of guys that I see at the young age and high school age are holding the stick in their palm. We want to get that up into the palm of our fingertips, right? And same thing with our bottom hand. So we really want to keep that stick light and in our hands. As we're dodging, right, and cradling, fine, we want to be in our palm. As soon as we go into shooting, passing, we got to elevate that stick up out of our palms and into our fingertips. If you're playing from here, it's the equivalent of like trying to play the piano with your fists, right? You're just losing a lot of dexterity and mobility. I put my tape at about a hip width apart. It's also the same as from your bicep to your middle knuckle. Whatever you want to do is fine, but I would encourage everyone to, you don't have to tape the full amount, right? But have a donut, a small donut where your hands can gravitate towards and find, so that you're passing from the same spot every time, because consistency in our fundamentals is hugely important, and the inconsistency that we have in our pockets based on the way we string them, the mesh, the grip of the ball, creates a lot of variables. We can eliminate some of the variation in the way we pass by having some checkpoints, like where our hands are located and where we go to, which kind of brings us to our triple threat position. This is really just a shooting passing position, but I like the term from hoops, right? We're going to get back and we're going to check our shaft up to where our collarbone meets our shoulder muscles, butt ends pointed out, bottom hand on. And so our ability to get to this position really quickly and easily and comfortably is important. A good drill for this, you picture a waiter holding like a serving tray, right? We want to get our wrist open that much so that we can get our butt end up and out and flat. So we're pulling back, waiter, pay me, waiter, pay me, right? And we get used to the centrifugal force and our pocket and holding this ball on the shooting string. Being able to hold the ball on your bottom shooting string is a fundamental that is really important to having an accurate pass and shot. So if you can hang that ball up there and get it to stay as long as you want until you release it with the crack of the wrist, that's really important. So when we start our wall ball routine, we should be working on getting our stick up into the palms of our fingertips, not the palms of our hands. And we're just going to start really simply with waiter, pay me. 25 each hand, right? And you don't have to go fast. In your offhand, you can go a little slower, but you'll eventually start to understand and feel how your pocket works. So we're going to go 25 waiter, pay me's with each hand. And then when we start playing off the wall, we're just going to go strong hand catch, one cradle. Again, I've got my hands at the same spot on the tape every time I throw, and I've got my stick up in the palms of my fingers. My bottom hand is doing nothing but counterbalancing the weight from the ball. So it's really just here. You're never supposed to cradle with your bottom hand, right? I call it whiskey throttling. We just want to be using it as a guide hand to counterbalance the weight of the ball. Same thing when we're throwing with our offhand. You notice I check up to the same point, strong hand and offhand. It just gives me some consistency in my passing. Obviously, hips close to my target, not open to the target. And we're just going to go 25 strong hand, 25 weak hand, one cradle and deliver. Throw, catch, split, throw, catch, split, throw, catch, split. And we're going to do 50 of those. And some things that I want us focusing on is when we split, right, we're not throwing the stick down, we're sliding our bottom hand up. So if you get into a full split dodge, you slide your bottom hand up and rotate your shoulders so your bottom hand goes all the way to your top hand and replace. Right, if we're just doing a quick catch, transfer, and deliver, we slide our bottom hand up right to where we want our top hand to be on the tape, exchange hands, throw it in the fingertips. Right, so I mentioned before, when we're cradling and dodging, we can have the stick in our palm for security and strength for soaking checks. But as soon as we go to throw, we throw that up into the palm of our fingertips. So we're just sliding that hand up, exchange, slide the hand up, exchange, keeping the stick vertical and tight to our body. Also watch, I'm flipping my hips before I deliver each pass. Underhand passing, this is not very viable in terms of gameplay, although it does come up every now and then. It's more for, again, understanding that pocket, understanding the shooting string, understanding how the ball plays in your stick, and also it's got a lot of hand-wrist action for ball control. So we're just dropping, cradling, deliver. Drop, cradle, deliver. Drop, cradle, deliver. Offhand as well. Drop, cradle, deliver. So next discipline is quick sticks. We're going no cradle. Just throw, receive the pass, drop it back to our triple threat position, right, and deliver our passes. Same thing with the offhand. Really make sure you work that top hand and leave that bottom hand pretty inactive. 25 righty, 25 left. Next discipline just becomes behind the back passes. Takes me a second to warm this up usually. Once we get going, 25 strong hands, and you're not going to do a offhand behind the back because I just can't think of a scenario when it would come up. And then the last one I want you doing is face dodge flip passes. And you know, this will come up in games, not as often as nearly any of the others, but again, teaches you to be really strong hand dominant, or top hand dominant rather, and makes you feel the ball in the pocket. If you're just to go and zip it, it's going to be inaccurate. You've got to feel that ball, sit on the top shooting string, and then when you crack your wrist, release the pass. It doesn't have to be this big swooping YouTube like toe drag. We just want to come across our body, drop it, flip it,